Well, Gary Young is well known a clocker as anyone in this business, and I've got some questions after this morning. First things first, whose box are we usurping here?
This is kind of just a community box. I mean, there's no real name tag on the box, so we just kind of help ourselves to it every morning, make sure it's clean when we leave, and I don't really know whose it is.
That makes two of us. Let's talk about Breeders' Cup works through the first few days here, or first few weeks, I should say, here at Santa Anita. Has anyone particularly caught your eye? You're thinking, wow, this horse looks a lot better than I was expecting.
Collected was very good this morning. He's a decent workhorse, and his affinity for Del Mar's surface is very well known. Gunrunner has not done any mistakes since he's came to town. I mean, he's terrific, and after having some men's and men's works, Arrogate has bounced back this last week with a very good work and some really nice gallops. So, it's a very competitive card. I mean, there's obviously Dre Fong was unbelievable. He'll be a short price favorite that I might not feel like betting against. Same can be said for Unique Bella. I saw the work on Free Drop Billy from Del Mar on computer this morning. I think that race is pretty much, he's the one horse with a legitimate challenge to Bolt de Oro. A lot of nice horses running around here, though. It's really good.
So as far as you, clearly, this is what you do for a living. So you put a lot of weight into the works and what they do in the morning. But for people at home that don't clock and try to become amateur clockers, watching the works once a year for the Breeders' Cup, maybe for the Derby, what's just one tip you throw out there? What do you want to look for? Their own discerning eye. Just say, hey, look for a horse to do this. Don't look for a horse to not do this. What would you say the one thing you'd tell someone who doesn't do this for a living to look for?
You want to see them finishing in full stride and appear like they're not actually giving 100%, maybe like leaving a gear left in the gearbox, something like that. If they're racetrack savvy enough to know when a horse is on the left lead and the right lead, you want to see the horse on the right lead coming down the stretch. And when he comes into the stretch, he will go, most horses, they will go from their left lead to their right lead. And you want it to be something that they just do on their own without the rider necessarily having to cue them to do that. And you just like to see a nice shiny coat. I mean, it sounds kind of, like not that big a deal, but if they go to the paddock and the horse has regularly spaced workouts, if they're able to see them on, which a lot of them are on video nowadays, and to see that they're bouncing and that they seem to have a good energy level. And when you go to the paddock, if their coat's nice and shiny and they seem like they're happy to be there, those are some of the things that the people that are just reading the past performances would maybe look for.
Well, I want to say thank you for joining us. A little insight there from Gary Young, and this man has been doing it for, I won't say how many years because it'll give away your age, and you never tell a young lady's age. But I do want to tell you this. Good luck with the 9 o'clock works because the fog has just rolled in. Miles, get a shot of it for the people at home.
I've been in a fog for many years, even before this rolled in, so don't worry about it.
Well put.